welcome to KRL.
Almost a pitch to break there or something, but now Butters. Attack. Albert stays on the inside. Wilco getting very, very interested as well. Did they touch, Bob? There was a bit of a nudge. Was that a bit of argy-bargy there, Bob? But just holding on. Wilco giving it everything. He's giving it everything. Manafort holds the inside line, making that Porsche very wide, but Wilco's going to get it down the inside.
Here we go.
The race is
vintage Manafort, Boss and Geordie rounding out your top 8 to start this race. And boy, oh boy, action aplenty. They are very, very close as we welcome back Bob Hoskins.
For 10 minutes at Monza, we've got yellow flags out for something. And is that, I think that might be just Voodoo, is it?
Oh!
And
my God, top 3. Close, and Albert is right with him. Look at this. This is going to be tight there. Albert down the inside. They touch. Wolfie and Will goes around.
Not sure who that is. There's a couple of them down there. Hazard. He's a hazard, all right. Down there, he's spun.
That's carnage.
Good kart dude. I reckon he's going to win this race here. Great race from Kart, says Kohler. And look at this. Kart dude coming around the final corner. Is he going to get over the line? Kart dude and Kilroy right behind the McLaren, but Binger now down.
Yeah, they're teammates.
The inside, look at this, and Binger. The old crisscross move, Wilco. Look at this, static with the nose in front ahead of Binger. Special liveries to promote awareness through Beyond Blue for mental health. Remember, it's okay not to be okay.
It's time to go racing for KRL.
He asphyxiated himself on the spikes, like impaled himself. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've got no idea, but it was one of the most like nerving feelings that I've ever had. Yeah, that's my ghost story. That's
Hang on, sorry, I got to get my audio because it's a new source. I've got to put the audio in as well. Testing. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're watching right around the world. Hello and welcome to the final. This is the final round of the KRL Triple Threat season. It's a very short season. We know that. Here we are back at Spa. We were here at Spa last week, of course, on the PS4 for the PS4 side of things, but we are back this week on the PS5. It looks a little bit different, of course, but we are riding with, we got Good Vibes, Jason, Sexy Rexy, and Jimbledon streaming tonight as I welcome my co-commentator, currently riding with Good Vibes, Voodoo, Chuck, Nigerian, Norris. Good evening to you. Championship very close this one tonight.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, it's very, very close. Obviously, Albert and Wilco are tied on 44 points, and it's going to be a spicy night. I'm really looking forward to seeing what these guys can do in the last 4 minutes of qualifying and get the race underway. It's going to be a tense 45 minutes.
Now, we do apologise for the slightly late start, of course, but we did have some technical issues. The blue screen of death. Voodoo managed to get me. Hopefully, there's an update or something that can fix that up in the not too distant future, but we're just trying to get your comments coming up on the stream. Fiona, hello to you. We're just going to pop these comments out. We've got so many windows. It's crazy, but hello to you, Princess Fiona, and she is joining us here tonight. Fantastic. Keep your comments coming in. We're going to keep checking the other drivers. We might see what our championship contender...
Yeah, don't forget to hit the live to update it. But while Trev's sorting all that out, Wilco's currently 7/10 up. He's creeping up to 8/10 now. So This could be an 18. It looks like it's going to be a 19-1 if he can get the bus stop right towards the end of the lap. But this is going to be a really, really good lap.
And here we are. We're back now. I apologise. We are back. Sorry. And that audio is awfully loud as well, so we'll put that about there. But anyway, we're doing things a little bit differently, but we are riding with this man, Wilco. He's looking very sharp at the moment. Coming around the last couple of corners, he looks like he's up by... What's he up by? Is it... Unless my eyes are deceiving me, looks about 0.8 of a second,
Yeah.
and he comes across the line, pole position. Despite all the battles, Voodoo have managed to get on board with Wilco on a pole position lap, and we've only got, what do we got? 1 minute 30, 90 seconds left in qualifying, and very early in the morning here at Spa-Francorchamps. I know I got up at about 5 o'clock myself this morning. It is very early, 5:34 in the morning. Track temperature not ideal so far.
Yeah, definitely not. You know, I think it could still be a green track, so it hasn't quite rubbered up just yet. But, you know, as we're kind of talking about a couple of drivers, with Jimbleton's up 5 tenths now, looking, he had a little bit of a moment, but still on a valid lap. So, you know, I'm taking a look at Rex and Good Vibes as well. They both haven't quite got a lap in yet, but they're coming towards the end of it, just about to start one. So, as long as they just keep a clean lap, don't push too hard. Just set a lap, get yourself onto the grid rather than starting all the way at the back. But yeah, it's definitely tense when you're coming down to those closing minutes.
As we ride with Jimbledon now, there you can see on board, and you can see that camera, very serious looking setup there. You can see the safety harness. Voodoo, big hello to everybody in the comments. We know you're out there. Victory Rider, what's going on, guys? We are having a great time. Hope you're enjoying it too. Scotty B says, good evening, gentlemen. Hope you're all well. You need a special commentator like myself. And how good is that? Maybe it is the last race of this particular season. We'll let you know what we're doing in the future, Scotty B. But we'd love to have you on board, mate. More the merrier, that's for sure. But that is a extremely serious setup there from Jimbledon's side of things. As he comes around the bus stop now, Voodoo. That would pretty much cover him FIA approved for any impact. That harness there looking the business.
Yeah, absolutely. Is not going to get any whiplash whatsoever having that harness. But yeah, he provisionally had pole position for I'd say about 5 to 10 seconds before Wilco kind of pipped him at the line. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Jimbleton's kind of split Albert and Wilco, who are obviously contending for the championship. But yeah, let's see how that safety harness goes. Hopefully, it doesn't need it going up Eau Rouge.
As we will go back to Wilco again, I believe. Yep, we'll get to those championship standings shortly. But riding on board with Wilco now, he's still on pole position, not by a great deal at all, as he's coming up with some traffic here on the final lap. So hopefully that won't be too much of an issue, as Scotty B watched Jim the other night, and he seriously has all the gear that could survive. That is Albert, not me. Okay, so we're looking at the championship. Yep. We're looking at his championship rival. Just talking about Albert. He looks a little bit like he's off the pace a little bit. Is he down on this lap? We don't know, of course. And if anyone could see the amount of windows we've got going on here, it's quite incredible. Somebody, a little mistake there, out of the way. Mac Miller. Simply Mac getting out of the way for Prince Albert of Monaco here. Right, left, and out of the final corner. Can he improve here, Nigerian Prince? That is the question. He comes across the line, and he doesn't improve. So watching Albert through Wilco's point of... Very close with Jim, yes.
Good job, boys. Well done.
Very close with Jim, but he was very close. If the quality was a little better on the stream, we'd be able to see that. But thank you. And Jim the other night seriously has all the gear Well, if we go back to Jimbledon, I reckon that he could survive. He could survive anything in that harness. We might go back and see what he's up to at the moment. That he's not doing too much at the moment. There we have it. Good, not good vibes. Jimbledon, how well are we travelling at the moment? Oh, geez, I tell you what, this is a nightmare, isn't it? So the session's finished, and I've gone to get the PlayStation controller, Voodoo, which I don't need because it's not on a device that we have or own. But there we have it. So fantastic stuff. Jimbledon, you can see him in the pit lane. Where is he? Second on the grid. So we've looked at first, second, and third. How good is that? And here we are on the grid. 2 minutes to go. So we'll go to our intro and be back for the race start with you shortly. Stay tuned. It'll be right after this.
Welcome to KRL.
Almost pitched a break there or something, but now Butters. Attack, attack, attack. Albert stays on the inside. Wilco getting very, very interested as well. Did they touch, Bob? There was a bit of a nudge. Was that a bit of argy-balgy there, Bob? But just holding on. Wilco giving it everything. He's giving it everything. Manafort holds the inside line, making that Porsche very wide, but Wilco's going to get it down the inside.
Here we go.
The race Vintage, Manafort, Boss and Geordie rounding out your top 8 to start this race. And boy, oh boy, action aplenty. They are very, very close as we welcome back Bob Hoskins. For 10 minutes at Monza, we've got yellow flags out for something. And is that, I think that might be just Voodoo, is it?
Oh!
Oh my God, top 3.
Close, and Albert is right with him. Look at this.
Oh,
This is going to be tight there. Oh, Albert down the inside. They touch. Wolfie and Will goes around.
Not sure who that is. There's a couple of them down there. Hazard. He's a hazard, all right. Down there, he's spun.
that's carnage. That's
Good Kart dude. I reckon he's going to win this race here. Great race from Kart, says Kohler. And look at this. Kart dude coming around the final corner. Is he going to get over the line? Kart dude. And Kilroy right behind the McLaren. But Binger now down.
yeah, they're teammates.
The inside, look at this, and Binger. The old crisscross move, Wilco. Look at this, Static with the nose in front ahead of Binger. Special liveries to promote awareness through Beyond Blue for mental health. Remember, it's okay not to be okay.
It's time to go racing for KRL.
Oh, shit. Hang on.
50-50 for...
Good
I
luck.
feel robbed.
Good luck.
I put my vote on how good is the new commentator. And I went to Jimbledon. Oh wait, no, there we go. It's self now.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost ready to go. You can hear the engines roar. And they're going to be looking down, the drivers staring into turn 1. We've got a new commentator, that's right, in our commercial break, which isn't a commercial break, of course, but we've had a new commentator. Scotty B, long-time viewer, long-time chatter on the live chat, first-time commentator. Scotty B, welcome to you, good evening.
Thank you so much, mate. I really appreciate you allowing me in to commentate with you guys on the race tonight.
Unbelievable. Great to have you, mate. Fantastic. Just the voting poll just hot at the moment, heating up. You can see there who's going to win this race. Jason, Albert, Jimbledon, or how good is this new commentator? Get your votes in. And it's a landslide, Scotty B. How good is this new commentator getting all the votes? And what's happening here? I'm not seeing much. That is because I need to have that going at the same time. But we are underway, Scotty. And what a time to be alive and in the commentary box, because 45 minutes of action, 5:15 a.m. in the morning. That's very early. Sort of not the time you want to be getting up. You want to be coming back home from somewhere after you've had a good time, of course. Chuck Norris, you'd know probably a bit about that over there in South Australia. But early going here at the moment, Voodoo, Nigerian Prince. It is Wilco leading Jimbledon from Riggsy, Binger and Albert having a bad start.
Yeah, I was actually quite surprised to see Albert had a bit of an average start. We've seen he's been that showboat, you know, like he can put on pole. We know that. We know that he's very good on the starts. So I feel like he's running a little bit more aero than say what Binger and stuff like that are running. But it's a 45-minute race and anything can happen.
And it usually does. I've got to say, a big fan of Albert. Not sure I agree with you there. The Spanish man who looks like Antonio Giovinazzi and lives in Richmond, Victoria. What a mix. I've got to say, we are a bit limited tonight, Scotty B, of course, because this is the PS5. I don't personally own a PS5, but still, we're here to have fun. And we are at the moment in Jimbledon, Scotty, all up in Jason's business on the opening lap here.
Yes, I have raced with Jim before, and he is very clean and very methodical.
He certainly is very clean. That's what we want. We do have the gentleman's category, don't we? Chuck Norris as well. But end of the first lap, what have we got happening there, please? Jimbledon in second. Wilco still leads. We might go and ride on board with the man whose safety harness could survive any sort of G-force you could throw at it, but we'll just go across to Jimbledon, that man we were speaking of. Now it's working, Voodoo. At least it's working for the race. That's good, but have a look at this. Look how close they are, almost side by side. Chuck Norris up through Eau Rouge. This is tense.
Yeah, it's a very scary manoeuvre to go too wide there, but he looks very, very confident in that Ferrari, which is good to see. The Ferrari's such a tame beast to kind of roar its way around the track. And, the new BMW, it's a very strong car, but I don't know about that. I think Wilco's struggling a little bit tonight, but yeah.
Just to put it into context.
I did hear Jim say earlier that it was a very slippery track tonight.
It certainly is, and something we were talking about, Scotty B, off air was also the fact that the curbs on this, I'm not sure whether it's a console thing, but these curbs look like they're almost slippery or something, don't they, Voodoo? It's not something we see on the PC, but it looks a bit strange, doesn't it, on the console?
Yeah, it does look a little bit different, I noticed it. Obviously, we've got this KRL pit wall going, and as everyone was going through practice and stuff like that, I started noticing that as people were going around, the curbs almost looked like they had a bit of a shine to it. As if someone grabbed the Mr. Sheen out and just overdid it. But yeah, I said to Wilco, I'm like, did it rain? Because, obviously Spa's notorious for the rain coming and stuff like that. But I'm wondering if we had rain before the practice session, which is why it was a green track, which is why the curbs look a little bit shiny. But apparently all the grip is there.
All the grip is there at the moment. There we go. Lap number 2, I think it is. Jimbledon there right up behind Jason still. The two J's going at it as Princess Fiona, Rigsy FTW. Hello to you, Princess Fiona. And Scotty, hello ladies, hello chaps. Hi guys, hi girls, great to have you with us. Let's take a look at the voting poll as we go across the line to complete another lap. 20% for Wilco, no love for the King of Spain. There's 0, big 0 there next to his name as we see Jimbledon getting a very good looking run here. It doesn't matter if he goes off at the top of Eau Rouge, that harness will protect him in any event. Jimbledon on 40%, and how good is the new commentator, Scotty B? Still right up there in the voting. We've had 5 votes 6 minutes ago. That's 1 vote per minute, and that is fantastic stuff. 6 votes now, 33%. It's evening up like the last 100 metres of the Melbourne Cup, but never mind about that. I digress because Jimbledon down the inside of Wilco. Down the Camel straight, and has he got the move done? Wilco keeping his foot in it. We said Jimbledon is a very clean racer, Scotty B, but has he got this move done? I think he's got a nose in front here.
I think he will, and I watched him at Imola the other night, and he was praying for rain.
So get those prayers ready, but he's up into first. One advantage of riding on board with these guys, Chuck Norris. We get the live timings and the live updates in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. But Scotty, for everyone just joining us, of course, Albert, the Spanish Albert, and Wilco, the man from Carrum Downs in Victoria, both on 44 points. Very even at the moment. Gee, Wilco's getting close. You can see the rear view mirror there, can't you? We apologise. We can't change the cameras tonight. But Scotty, if you're in his shoes, Wilco's shoes, I should say, are you thinking of the championship, or is the racer in Wilco still wanting to win this race tonight?
Oh no, well and truly, Wilco will be pushing for the win. I think he'll be thinking of both tonight. He'll be playing it very safe, but I'd be very surprised if he lets Jimbo get away.
And he's sticking right with him at the moment. We might flick across to Wilco, and this is so good. These cameras are working a treat at the moment. And Wilco now, of course, down in second place. 38 minutes to go in this race. Oh, has he just outbraked himself there through the bus stop chicane? Not sure if it's called the bus stop, but it was back in my day when we raced here, as across the line to complete another lap, second in the standings at the moment. Where's Albert? He's right behind him. You can see the Spanish colours, and he's right up his ginger saying, "Muchos gracias, Wilco." He says, "I'm here." That's Spanish for "I'm here. Let's go and race, Voodoo." He is very close. This championship is well and truly alive.
Oh, it's well and truly alive. You know, I was comparing their first laps, and Wilco and Jimbleton were only literally a tenth apart after lap 1, but you know, lap 2 is obviously done and dusted now, and Jimbleton did a 20.9 and Wilco did a 22.1. You know, given that they were too wide for a majority of Sector 1 going into Sector 2, I'm quite surprised Wilco lost, you know, a good second and a bit on that. So, was he pushing a little bit too hard, maybe trying to recoup? You know, obviously we've seen him looking back a couple of times, knowing that Albert's gotten past Binger and Riggsy in the last lap, and Albert's definitely looking a little bit racy now. This is something that we notice, or I've personally noticed in the last couple of rounds, is, you know, once Albert clicks, oh man, he's just full gunning at race pace. So yeah, Wilco's going to have to be quite careful as he tries to catch up to Jimbleton.
Got his work cut out. Hello to you, Janice. Thanks for joining us. Hi there. Diego Fan Club. Evening all. Evening, Diegos. And if Rambo First Blood Part 2 has taught us anything, to win the war, Voodoo, you need to become the war. And that was on during my lunch break today. A little bit off topic, but it really shows you that the hunter has become the hunted, you might say. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, Chuck Norris. But here we go. Wilco looks closer on this lap, Scotty. Is he going to have a go into the bus stop? It'd be a brave man if he does.
Oh, would be a very brave man indeed. He might just bide his time. It's a long race tonight, so there's plenty of time to make moves.
Certainly is. It's a marathon, not a sprint, as Lewis said at some point in time. I'm not sure when it was. He said it at some race, but yeah, he's got a sore back now anyway. So across the line again, lap number 4, and very close, but that could be a number of factors, couldn't it, Voodoo? Is Jimbleton just taking it a little bit easy? He might know he's got the pace. Is he foxing a little bit with Wilco, who's now stretched that gap back to Albert, but Albert all up in his mirrors, and that's got to be playing on his mind, doesn't it? Oh, a little mistake! And not for the first time. He's just seemed to have cut that the top of Eau Rouge there. You do not want to be going off there at any sort of pace, do you, Voodoo?
No, definitely not. That was very, very close, you know, taking that extra little bit of curb to the point where the right-hand side of the car kind of drops off onto the grass. That's, you know, we saw that last week with the PS4 lads. You know, some of them were taking a little bit too much of a gamble going up Eau Rouge, and unfortunately ending up in the wall. So I think Wilco is very lucky to walk away with just a track limit warning. I mean, 34 minutes. Track limit warnings are pretty easy to get around here. But he definitely looks very comfortable under braking. I feel like that's going to be his strongest suit when catching Jimbleton.
Turn up the volume, everybody, because Alan Shep, that's right, the Alan Shep, has joined us. Very big hello, fellas, from down here at Warrnambool, Victoria. And the great man's having a few frothies. Nibbles going to win here at the Flying Horse here with Craig, Heather and Zach. Big hello, Craig, Heather and Zach. Thank you for joining us here tonight. Big Sheppo. Big hello, fellas, down there at Warrnambool. Having a few frothies, if you don't mind, Scotty and Voodoo. Thanks for joining us. And Big Shep, Let us know what you think of our new commentator here tonight. We've got a voting poll open. Oh my goodness, it's even Stevens at the moment. Look at that, 29%, 14 for Albert, 29 and 29. It's all tied up for Jason Jimbledon and Scotty B at the moment, but 33 minutes left in this one. Lap 4 now, and Wilco picking up the pace. Chuck Norris, 2:19.3. His best lap was his last lap, so pacey, looking good at the moment.
Oh, he's looking very strong at the moment. The one thing which is, you know, hopefully Wilco's thinking about this when he's going to do his pit stop. You know, I've noticed Jimbledon's pressures are spot on. They're perfect. But Wilco's struggling a little bit on the left-hand side. So, you know, I think if Wilco had the optimal pressures, especially on that left rear, you know, he'd probably have that little bit more of grip. You find if your pressures are down a little bit compared to the optimal area, they kind of slip a little bit. So he's just got to keep focused, stop looking back at Albert, and yeah, just keep pushing forward.
So there we have it. We've looked at good vibes. Sorry, beg your pardon. Now we're looking at good vibes. Why is that doing that? There we have it. So we're riding now with our man. We've seen the front of the grid. Let's take a look at the drivers lower down the order, as the great Murray Walker would say. And we are looking at good vibes just outside of the points tonight. Outside of the top 10, I should say. He's behind Heat by 5 seconds, but still in front of Mac and Cheese down there in 12th. Good vibes. We're going to keep an eye on all our drivers tonight. We'll see what's happening at the front. That gap increasing as Janice says, go. Riggsy, go. Let's hear it. Thank you, Janice, from the Riggsy fan club. And 8 votes in. Keep getting your votes in. Keep getting your comments in. Scotty B joining us in the commentary box. If you're just joining us, the great man Scotty B, long-time watcher, first-time commentator, if you know what I mean. But it's great to have you alongside us. So, Scotty, what are you thinking at the moment, strategy-wise? I'd love to pick your brains about that. When is a good time to pit? Do you need that clear air, of course, that clear track when you come out after your pit stop as well?
Mate, I agree 100%. I think each driver will be looking at the time gap between the person in front, the person behind, their biggest competitor. They're probably considering for tonight's race, they will be looking for a little bit of clean air, and they will be utilising that pit strategy to give them that little bit of space. And hopefully, if they choose tyres, well, it is tyres, I believe, tonight, they will be looking at maximising those tyres to get the best out of them so that they can get that little bit of an edge.
Fantastic stuff, and we've got to say, all about the strategy, very important, like you said, Scotty, with 30 minutes left in this one. The consistency, though, Nigerian Prince, of this man we're riding on board with, Jason Wilkinson. Championship battle we're watching here between himself and the King of Spain, Prince Albert, who couldn't be a prince if he's a king, could he? What am I talking about? But 2:19.3, 2:19.8, 2:19.7, and now he's on for a 2:19.2. So the consistency of this man is fantastic at the moment, and he's up slightly on the delta this lap. As I need to just take this jumper off, I'm sweating my ass off. You would not believe it's. You would never believe it's 8 degrees outside, would you? Here in northeast Victoria. There you go. I think I've knocked the dog off the chair. But anyway, here on lap 6 of this race, less than 30 minutes to go before we realise who will be champion and who will be the King of Spa tonight. Jimbledon 2-point-something ahead now, just breaking away at the moment, and Wilco's struggling to stay with him despite those consistent lap times. Let's have a look at Jimbledon. Well, there you go, Voodoo. 2:18.9 on that last lap, so he's going even quicker than Wilco with his safety belts and harness there.
Yeah, I think Wilco needs to invest in some safety gear up to standard with the FIA, but yeah, Jimbledon's just been chipping away lap after lap, and this lap was actually going to be better for Jimbledon, but he had a brief moment, which is why he's going to kind of tinker above the 19s again. But yeah, Wilco's gotta get a little bit more pace out of it. But I've been keeping an eye on it. Good Vibes has obviously gotten past Mac and Binger because those guys have done their pit stops already. Kilroy as well is another early runner to get his pit stop done. So Kilroy is now a lap down. I'm wondering what happened. Maybe he had a moment, so he had to come in and repair some damage. Which would be unfortunate if that was the case. But we've also got Rex. He's just put in his best lap just then, 20.6. He's up into P5. So not only has he gotten past Aussie Thunder in the last couple of laps, but he's also gotten past Nobby now. So yeah, Aussie's probably going to be nibbling on those nuts and see what happens.
He'll be nibbling those nuts. I can tell you why is that so loud coming through for Rex's stream. I'll tell you why, because the volume's right up. That's a little bit better. Thank you, Sexy Rexy, yibbida yibbida. And now we've lost it now. That's all right. We'll get that back. There we go. And Sexy Rexy, someone will be nibbling on those nuts shortly, I reckon. Look at these times, 2:20.673. That is the party chat going on in the background. I must admit I don't know how a PS5 works because I've tried to pre-order one and I can't get one. And by the time I go on to all of the Big W websites and all those different things, they're already sold out, Chuck. Why is that? Are they bots? What is going on? I'm not sure. I got drunk the other night and almost bought one from a scalper on eBay. Thank God I didn't. But that's a story for another day. 27 minutes to go. Nigerian Prince Norris all the way over there in South Australia. This race is flying by, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, it's going pretty quick actually. Like the 45-minute with the PS4 guys the other night. Not like it felt like it went on forever, but I don't know. There's something about this tonight where it's just going so quick. Time's ticking, and we can't slow it down. So, yeah, these drivers are really gonna have to make the most of it. I mean, they're probably sitting there thinking, "Man, it's only halfway through the race almost," and we're sitting here going, "Are we halfway? What the hell? Where'd all that time go?"
Certainly is the time not
just
stopping.
into pits
Yep,
as well.
let's
Sorry,
have a quick look. No, you're right. Jimbledon into the pits. We've seen, forget who it was last week, somebody made an awful mess of that pit lane, that's for sure. Jimbledon in the pits. There's Good Vibes. Jason now, and you're right, the time going so quickly. But where else would you rather be watching this KRL, the finale of the Triple Threat season? New commentator. That's right, Scotty. That voice you've been hearing is Scotty B. Let's have a look at the voting poll. Still absolutely killing it with his 9 votes there, 44%. And there's a sign. It's a sign, Scotty. 44% of the vote. Albert's on 44 points. Wilco's on 44 points. Lewis Hamilton on 44. Not really a big fan of him, but there's something going on. There's something in the air tonight here. A lot of 44s if you're superstitious, but Scotty, thank you for joining us. How are you finding the racing tonight?
Mate, this is absolutely brilliant. Jim has all, like I said earlier, Jim has all the gear. I think the only thing that his belts will do for him is if his system crashes, because it's quite impossible if he loses control of his race rig. I certainly wouldn't guarantee that Alberto is out of the running just yet. He is a magician. He certainly has a way of producing the goods. Even Aussie, big shout out to Aussie. He has helped me massively in my racing. But Riggsy, I know Riggsy's mum's watching. He's biggest fan, obviously, and it's gonna. Look, to be brutally honest, I think it'll be a very close race tonight at the end.
And there we have it. And Spanish. There is a joke about a Spanish magician, but probably not appropriate here at the moment. But there we have it. As Scotty J says, put Scotty B. These Scotties just piling up here, aren't they? Put Scotty B on the payroll. That's coming from Scotty J to Scotty B. Who could forget about Scotty Pippen as well? Michael Jordan's offsider. What a great series that was, The Last Dance. But there we have it. That got me through the early stages of lockdown. That's when it became personal for me, Chuck Norris. Okay, fine. I'm going to win championship. Okay, So, what do we got? 24 minutes, and we're riding on board with Wilco now. Riggsy, Janice and Princess Fiona. They will be proud for Riggsy, that's for sure. Who else have we got, please? Good Vibes in P8 at the moment. Right up, I think, is he behind Heat there? It's less than a second, I think, at the moment. Let's see if one of these boys comes into the pits. Are they coming into the pits? Well, one is. Heat coming into the pits. Good Vibes staying out as the sun begins to rise here at Spa-Francorchamps. That's interesting. Voodoo, have you seen something, Nigerian Prince?
I just seen. I have no idea how the hell Rex managed to save that, but he went up Eau Rouge, got to the top of Radion, he was sideways, managed to keep it planted, just kept his foot in it and just got it back going as if nothing ever happened. I've never seen that from a Porsche. Usually once you're a little bit kicked, you're done for, but he'd be sweating bullets, I think, for the remainder of this lap, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to bite the bullet and come into pits early just to have a little bit of a bit of a breath.
There we go. Rex might need a new set of pants too as he comes into the pits. Rex Buckingham 46, otherwise known as Sexy Rexy Yibbita. The great Rex Hunt called many games, of course, of VFL, AFL football. As 22 and a half minutes left, 6:42 a.m. Can we see? We can't see the track conditions, or can we? Voodoo? No, we can't, can we, when we ride on board? I'm not sure. We can see tyre temperatures, what sort of traction control and the live leaderboard, but we can't see the track conditions, which is what we get when we do the broadcast cameras, but never worry about that, because here we go, sun rising at Spa, and in third place, Sexy Rexy. He's had that moment. What are we thinking here, chaps? In the pits this lap, yes or no, please?
He would well and truly have to be in the pits this lap. He is running very low on fuel. If he doesn't pit this lap, he will not compete.
No, I reckon, yep.
I was just going to add on to what Scott mentioned. I definitely feel like, he is biting the bullet and he's coming in. He had a little bit of a moment again coming around the back stretch of the track. Coming up to what we're going to be calling bus stop, but as he's in pit lane, we can see that the track's optimum at a cheeky 22 degrees. So, it's going to be good for him. Get onto those fresh boots after the couple of moments that he's had over the course of this lap. Hopefully, he won't lose too much time, and he can make the most of it. But just touching on a couple of things as well. Jimbleton's obviously gotten past Albert, and there's a 3.5 second gap between him and Albert, so it's going to be a question of where is Wilco going to slot in? Is he going to get his pit stop done correctly, slot in behind behind Jimbleton, or is he going to kind of toast his pit stop, park it sideways like we saw during the PS4 race, and end up slotting back behind Albert and beyond? But I feel like Wilco's getting ready to come into pit lane this lap. I've just seen him messing around with his MFD throughout this first sector and into the second sector. So, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Wilco in very, very soon.
It's getting close, that's for sure. There we go. We've just fixed that aspect ratio up. And my goodness, I'd love to get a price. Love that setup there from Jimbleton, and it's doing him the world of good. As you can hear him chatting there, the drivers chatting to each other. Of course, they can't hear us. We can hear them, which is a little bit creepy. It's sort of like listening in to someone's kind of private conversation in a way. But anyway, nothing doing there. And I think that was race control saying there's a car into pit lane. But these drivers they're just showing no fear, are they, through Eau Rouge tonight, Scotty? They are absolutely flying through there with plenty of confidence.
Mate, that is one section of the track that scares the pants off me. I raced this last week with the boys in Rising Phoenix, and it just, the way some of these guys go through that section of the track is just astronomical. I just can't do it. Some of these guys are just absolute freaks.
Certainly are. I'd be shitting myself going up there, no doubt about that, as Wilco is in the pits. Very long pit lane here. I've spent more time in an F1 car around this track, Voodoo. I keep getting put off by that pit lane. That's where you should sort of come out, don't you, for the F1?
Yep.
But it's a very long pit lane, that's for sure. But Janice says, here we go. It's on. It's on for young and old. Don't you worry about that. 11 laps gone in this race. 18 minutes remaining now. So this is the pit lane now as Wilco does his thing in the pit lane. Good Vibes goes up into second. And is Good Vibes going to get out? I think, geez, look how slow that must feel. This pit lane must be very frustrating, fellas, or this particular version of the pit lane here at Spa.
Yeah, it's probably the most frustrating part of the whole lap, I think. You know, you're in pit lane for so long, you lose so much time, and you know, if you get it a little bit wrong on your entry, or you know, if you're taking that kink where you'd normally come out, you know, if you get that a little bit wrong and you bump the car there as well, then you know there's an extra little bit of damage that you're gonna have to repair if you choose to do it. But yeah, it's such a long pit lane that you know you start kind of stressing. Do I have enough time? Big enough gap? As we see Jimbleton doing the run down to Eau Rouge. Wilco's just dropped off the jacks, so this is going to be close.
This is going to be close, Scotty B, and everyone out there watching. Look, here comes Wilco. Here comes Wilco. Look at that. You can see him on the right-hand corner of your screen, but there goes Jimbleton. He's through. He's through, is he? It's going to be close. How close? How close, Scotty? What is going on? He's got him. I reckon he's got Wilco, has he?
Yep.
He's got Wilco, but Wilco's on the fresh rubber. You can see there he's trying to get a bit of heat in the tyres, but this is going to be on for young and old. Jim has to be seriously consistent here because Wilco on the fresh rubber, once that gets heat in those tyres, he's going to start gaining ground on Jim. He's got a couple of laps worth of fresh rubber right there.
And you can see the time remaining. Third then, Good Vibes. So basically, after all that, we've got first, second and third all streaming for us. How good's that? Fantastic stuff. There we go. It is absolutely on. Don't you go anywhere, Janice. Princess Fiona, Scotty and Big Shep down there at Warrnambool having a few frothies, supporting Nibbles, no doubt. And I've got to say, this lap, Wilco...
Nobby's got a DT.
And... Nobby's nuts got a drive-through penalty there, Voodoo. That's coming from somebody there on the party chat. But Wilco, we heard it from Scotty B. The fresh rubber, he's going to have to take full advantage of that fresh rubber, of course. The track warming up here slightly. 7:08 local time. The sun well and truly up now, so the track going to get warmer. The track's rubbered in. And you can see there, what's the time there? We'll wait and see. What, 3.6, I think, to Jimbleton. But Jimbleton is, he's a handy peddler, isn't he? Very consistent. It's going to be tough to chase him down in the next 15 minutes.
Yeah, I really have to agree. You know, Jimbleton's got his 3 track limits as well. That, you know, if he needs to, he's got that as a little bit of a breath of fresh air, basically, in a simple term. It basically just enables him to have a moment, say, through Eau Rouge and just be able to straight line it. Just take one track warning and be done with it. Where Wilco, on the other hand, he's got one left for the last 15 minutes. So if he's not careful, he'll go through that one more on top of that. He'll be seeing pit lane like Nobby is at the moment.
And that could be, Scotty B, the championship. I reckon Wilco's he's worried about winning this race, we know that, but the championship also up for grabs with Albert not too far behind. So that surely, Scotty, that's got to be playing on his mind as well.
Well and truly, this is Wilco's race to lose, essentially. If he's got 2 of the 3 track limits, he is going to be very, very cautious, which will most probably not give him the freedom to drive how he wants, which could essentially let Jimbleton just run away with the race. Alberto, you know, is a little bit off the pace, but it's as we say, it's not over till the fat lady sings.
That's it.
And you can see Scotty J there saying Albert is closing. And while you were just giving us that update, Scotty, I've gone and Googled closing in Spanish. Clausura. That means, thank you, Siri. There we go. You can stop now. That means closing in Spanish or close. We would accept either one of those, Scotty J. And I've got to say that he is closing in, isn't he? But Wilco as the stream. No, we're back. Good old bit of buffering there, if you don't mind. But 13 minutes remaining. 2:19, I beg your pardon, is his best lap at the moment. And we can just see Albert in the mirrors, can't we? We might check what's happening in the good vibes department, down in 10th. He's not had the greatest of races, Nigerian Prince, but still top 10 points for him, or 8 point.
Yeah, that's it. You know, it might not have been the run that he was looking for tonight, but he'll be able to at least walk away with his head held high, knowing that at least he scored a point to go towards his championship. But I did a little bit of comparing before, you know, if Wilco and Albert stay where they are, obviously Wilco's going to win the championship, and if Albert closes in and takes P2, then Albert's got the championship. But in terms of Gimbleton, if he can keep P1, if my maths was done correctly, Gimbleton bumps himself up to P3 overall in the championship. So this is going to be such a crucial, 12 minutes for Gimbleton. Don't make a mistake. Just keep your eyes forward and just hope that you can keep the car in one piece. But yeah, Albert's definitely closing in. The gap's chilling at about the 2.5 second mark, but we don't know what Albert's track limits are looking like and how much he can push, but 12 minutes, anything can happen.
Certainly can. Love the comparison there, Voodoo. Compare the pair, same age, same income, same points. Who is going to come out on top? A dozen or so minutes, not only left in the race, but a dozen minutes left in the championship. And surely that Spanish fire in the belly it's got to be surely Albert. 2.5 seconds, Scott, but it's nothing, is it? 2.4 now. He's got to be thinking of putting the head down, putting the foot down and going for it. And the gap is closing ever so slightly, Scotty.
Oh, look, well and truly, Albert is the biggest joker I've ever raced with, but when it comes to putting your foot down, he's just an absolutely amazing driver. Jim has got the luxury of having no track limits, so he will be pushing hard, whereas Wilco is going to be pushing, but he literally knows he's got, one track limit left, and if he makes one mistake, that's his race done.
Yes, and he's got to he outbrakes himself ever so slightly. There we have it, but still manages to get through the bus stop. He's got to be so careful. He's got to tread lightly. That gap steady, 218.9. So Wilco, no wonder that gap staying steady. Chuck Norris, 218.9. First time Wilco is gone into the 218s.
Yeah, he's definitely finding his footing now. I think he's been obviously watching the gap slowly close down with Albert. But Gimbleton had a pretty average lap the last time around, so that gap has also come down to about the 2.5 second mark between obviously Gimbleton and Wilco. But if Wilco can just keep on chipping away slowly at his lap times as the fuel starts draining, I think we might see that BMW start to come alive. But I wish Wilco had that little bit of the fire in the heart, so to speak, of just push as hard as I can from the get-go, and I'm sure he would have been competing with Gimbleton the whole way through. We saw they were too wide a couple of times, and that was really, really good racing. Obviously, the gap when they were doing that, Albert closed in quite rapidly. So, the pit stop was such a crucial period over the course of this race. It's where you make a lot of time and you can also lose a lot of time. So yeah, now it's all about maximizing your track space and extending as far as you can without getting a limit. But we're seeing Wilco at the moment up about 2.5 to 3 tenths now, so he's definitely quite rapid. Gimbleton's approximately going to do about a 19.4, 19.3, but you're comparing that to Wilco, who's provisionally on board for an 18.6. So yeah, almost a whole second in it on this lap alone.
3 tenths up, that's right, down to a couple of tenths at the moment. Go get Wilco. That's the message from Scotty J here at the moment, because Albert, the Spanish king, needs to push, push, push. Famous words I heard seconds before my daughter was born on that magical day 4 years ago. Magical, terrifying, all at the same time. Big hello to you, Taylor, out there. If you're watching, if you are watching or listening to Daddy, I should say, you probably either should be in bed or at least thinking about going to bed, because it is a school day tomorrow. But with 8 minutes remaining, 8.5 minutes in fact, an 18.8. Wow, that is some serious pace happening, and he's on for a 2:18 again, Scotty B. So this race might not be over.
Mate, Wilco. No, I don't believe it is. We have 8 minutes 20 seconds to go, and Wilco is very slowly closing that gap on Jimbo. I watched the last lap times between Jimbo and Wilco. Wilco was definitely up. Jimbo is going to have to push hard to maintain this, and we still have to remember Wilco's got that little bit of fresh rubber, a couple of laps worth of fresh rubber, so Jim has got to have to keep this very clean, but Wilco's got to remember he's only got one track limit left.
And it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. We've seen some of his work at the top of Eau Rouge, and that's all it's going to take, isn't it, Scott? They could be the championship on the line. Thank you, Scotty, for your comments. Janice, everybody else, we're going to end that voting poll in a couple of minutes. We might end it with a couple of minutes left in the race. A quick update on that. 18% for Wilco, 9% for Albert, Jimbledon 27%, and our man Chuck Norris in the commentary box alongside us tonight, 45% of the vote. That is democracy at its finest. The people have spoken. They want some more of Scotty B going forward, I reckon.
Yeah, I have to agree. You know, it was great to see you jump into the comms box with us tonight, Scotty. I know when we were doing our ad break, you were like, I've never done commentary before, but like I said to you, I was just a mediocre racer once upon a time, and it's been one of those things that slowly grows on you. So feel free to reach out to us whenever we're going to be doing these nights, because it would be great to have your input. And while I'm asking for input at the moment, you know, as a seasoned racer yourself, you know, someone that's been dealing with, you know, pushing too hard at the start of a stint, which is what I'm assuming Jimbledon's done, which is why his tyres are off and Wilco's are just gunning it right now. You know, there was a whole second difference just in that last lap alone. You know, what would go through your head? You know, obviously you'd prefer the nicer tyres to run on. You know, you don't want to burn them out too early, but if you're in Jimbledon's shoes right now with, you know, knowing that your tyres really aren't there, what would you be thinking at the moment? You know, do we conserve or do we just try and go defensive? You know, what would your thought process be in this instance?
Oh, look, mate, on that, and having raced with Jim, having watched race Jim, Jim will be literally just trying to keep it consistent. He will be trying to put in some decent lap times, but also very much trying to conserve tyres. Look, he knows Wilco's not that far behind him, and Wilco's going to be pushing for this win tonight. And with that little bit of extra clean rubber for Wilco, Jim knows that he's going to have to probably nurse his car through to a certain extent, but he's not going to give up. He will just keep pushing to the point where it's almost aggressive but conservative.
Yeah, I really have to agree in that instance. You know, like he's kind of got the what I call the Christmas lights. You know, where you've got it flashing between, you know, a new PB and just outside of a new PB. You know, he's got the Christmas lights going, and he's definitely kind of putting his foot down right now. And you know, he knows there's just under 5 minutes to go, and he wants to make the most out of the tyres. So yeah, it's one of those things, you know, when you're watching these races and you're in the comms box and you can kind of see everything that's going on, you kind of, next time you jump back into the car, I mean, I personally do it, you jump back into the car and you sit there going, okay, so this is what this and this happened with these drivers. now I kind of know what the strategies are going to be, and you know, you play around with it a little bit during your races when you end up going back against them. So yeah, it was very good input. I think a lot of strategy is going to come down to it in this final 4 minutes, but yeah, I'm keen to see what's going to happen.
Less than 4 minutes, in fact, Chuck Norris. Thank you for that. Love the Christmas lights analogy. You actually reminded me to take those down. Actually, what is it, halfway through June? We might as well keep them up. We're halfway there.
Just leave them up.
Let's just wait and see. As Matterford, hello to you, J-Mads. Let's go, Jim. Don't let Wilco send it up the inside. Send it, Wilco, says Scott. And I've got to say, 3.5 minutes now. Sorry, I thought there was a problem there for Wilco. He seemed to sort of ease off there. I'm not sure what happened there, but Albert in third, not looking like he is going to... Oh, Wilco has made a slight mistake there, and is that going to be a track limit warning? No. What are the...
No time gained, thankfully. You know, he's very lucky to get no time gained there, but you could see him slow right down, knowing I've got one more track limit, and if I get this, then I can't push as hard as I want to. He's almost within draft distance of Jimbledon now, and I'm going to say there's going to be at least... Oh, there's going to be one more lap. There might be one more after that, but next lap could be the last lap.
I reckon it's going to be tight, isn't it, fellas? What do we got? 2 19s, 2 18s. I think this...
Well and truly, look, Will goes down on his lap time, obviously, as we can all see there. But, you know, Jim's down on his lap time as well. And you know you're close when you can see the name above the car.
There we go. You can see the driver tags. I reckon you're right. I reckon there we go. Well, what are we sitting at now? We've gone past the 2:19, 2:18 mark, fellas. So I reckon this is the penultimate lap. Next lap, next time around, one more tour, and that will be the end of it, I reckon. So Jimbledon now, that's going to keep Albert interested, but it looks like he's dropped back a little bit further there, I reckon. You could see, like you said, Wilco did not want to tempt fate, did he, Voodoo? He didn't want to risk anything at all, did he? He just tiptoed through that corner. He's getting very close here. Last lap coming up. You'll hear it from race control. Where is he? There we go. Final lap of the race. Thank you for that. Final lap. There we have it. 90 seconds remaining. This will be the final lap. Can't quite see that gap back to Albert, but it was about 4 or 5 seconds, I think, on my screen, fellas. Tessa has joined us. We're riding on board with your man, Jason. She says, come on, Jace, you can do this. What a time to join the stream as well. Last lap of the race, if you don't mind. You don't want to be going over there, do you, Voodoo? Up Eau Rouge. Jeez, he was flirting with that, with the track limits on that occasion. Down the Kemmel Straight. It's going to be close, but he might not be close enough.
Boy, I don't think he's going to quite get it unless Jimbledon makes a pretty grave mistake in a corner. But, you know, obviously we're going to keep on this front pack battle. We want to watch Wilco chase it to the line. But while we're watching Wilco, just a quick update on some of the other drivers that we've got vision of. Rex is holding P6. He's got about 4 seconds to Binger, so I think he's pretty comfortable where he's sitting. And Good Vibes is up to P9, so he's managed to get past Heat. He's got about 15, 14 odd second gap there, and he's in clear air as well. So definitely, from what we can see, the chase is on for Wilco as we come around into the third sector and ever closer to that checkered flag.
There we go. You can see that final sector, final race, final lap. You name it, Scotty B. It all comes down to this 10.
Well and truly, mate. Look, I think unless Jimbledon makes a massive mistake, I think our top 10 are pretty much in concrete.
It's going to be set in stone. Get your votes in, Tessa. I'm looking at you. There we have it. 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Final lap of the race. It all comes down to this final sector. The long run down to the bus stop chicane here at Spa, the famous Spa-Francorchamps in the Ardennes at Stavelot in Belgium. Great part of the world. Hopefully we keep it on the F1 calendar as well. But final corner, we'll ride on board with him here. Jimbledon, final corner with that 6-point safety harness of his. He'll be sweaty, knees weak, arms also heavy. You know that. I've said I wouldn't do the lyrics, but there he goes across the line. Wilco has crossed
Yeah,
the
good
line,
victory.
and he's
Oh,
facing...
Albert, just go.
And it's a bit of Spanish fire there for you. Did Albert just get right in his business?
Yeah.
Rex, let's have a look at Sexy Rexy, yibbida yibbida, and he's in clear air. Rex flying at the moment, top 6 finish. He'll be pleased with that, Chuck Norris, as he comes up to the bus stop chicane. Nice one, mate. Buenos noches, Wilco. That was a great battle, my friend. We'll talk to you in a minute, Albert. Listening to Albert, it creeps me out every time, you know, that Wilco. What's your name? Who are you? Voodoo? There we go, across the line. Just losing the plot a little bit here as, what's Jim Wooden? Yeah, he's finished. Get that harness coming off. Good vibes.
Coming up to the final part of the track. About to hit the checkered flag.
There we go. I sort of forgot he was around, but we still got that stream going inside the top 10. They're saying their thank you messages, and we're still racing, or good vibes is anyway. Well done, everyone. Thank you, Scotty, Tessa, Matterford, other Scotty, however many Scotties we have. There's the checkered flag, Janice. We're not sure what happened to...
What can I say, mate? You cannot get enough of a good thing. The Scotties rock tonight.
Yep, the Scotty... I just love Scottie Pippen's voice. He went up to the general manager and said, "Hey, Jerry, I need to get paid." Okay, rightio. And let's take a look at the final results on your screen. Jimbledon winning this race. Boy, he looked the business, didn't he, tonight? Wilco in second. Champion, as I Google champion in Spanish. That might not please Albert. Albert finished third, though I'm pretty pleased with tonight. We'll hear from him a little bit later on. Binger in fourth, Aussie Thunder, Mac and Cheese, or simply Mac as he's known to his close friends, in sixth. You can laugh, Wilco, but you've taken the championship, my friend. Seventh for Good Vibes, Miami Heat in eighth. GRT, oi, in ninth. And Nobby Nuts nibbling on his nuts down there in the top 10. We're waiting for these drivers to get into the post-race driver interviews. If you'll just head out into the lobby, Voodoo, can we invite them in or something? What's happening there? I'm hearing some...
We'll just wait on Albert and Wilco.
Yep.
Cheers for showing up each week, boys.
Yep, Wilco's
Stay tuned for
Wilco's a happy man, isn't he?
future events.
As
Hint RPR race with KRL.
there's a bit
So I
of
guess we can get the podium interviews
That's all I'm
kicked
gonna
off. We've
say.
got Jimbleton and Albert here.
boys.
Wilco will just jump in
Cheers
when he
on
can.
Discord if you
Yep,
jump on.
we might go how they finish. Jimbledon, mate, come in. Can you hear us?
Yeah. Jump in the waiting room and he'll drag you up. You'll do the podium interviews first. And then
Sounds
he'll drag you up.
painful, doesn't it? But I think we've got
Just
Jimbledon.
underneath where it says you see waiting room.
Yeah, he's got the mute button on.
Oh, okay.
He's
I'll
very,
let-
very faint.
Can we unmute him? What's going on? What's
No,
happening?
he's got it muted himself.
Okay, well, Jimbledon, we've got you. Voodoo's come out and called your name and got you out of the waiting room. You're in the main lobby there, and can you hear us, mate?
I was carrying fucking a shitload of damage.
Is that Jimbledon talking at the moment? I think.
Hello, mate.
Yep. G'day, mate. How are you?
Mate. How are you guys?
Yeah, good. Thanks, mate. Sorry, it's just coming through a bit low on the volume side of things, but yep. Talk us through your race, my friend. The win
Yes, it
tonight.
is. This is Jim.
Yep. Come in
Yeah,
over.
Good, mate.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Talk us through your race, mate.
Yeah. Roger that. Yeah, pretty much good fun with Wilco, but side by side through the top end of the circuit, and sort of zoned out there in the middle, and then all of a sudden he was a second and a half behind me, so I had to wake up and set some cracking laps. But good pressure by Wilco. I believe he's won the championship, so congratulations, and well done for Albert getting the podium.
Great stuff. Thanks, mate. Fantastic race tonight. You absorbed that pressure like an absolute champion, and you fully deserved the win tonight. Love to know what that setup and harness and everything set you back, but that could be a conversation for another day. Thank you for that, my friend, and we'll see you next time around. In second place, the champion, Jason Wilkinson, joining us. Wilco, talk us through your race tonight, my friend. Tessa joined just on the last lap to see you take the title.
I couldn't hear what Jim said on my end, so I'm
No.
assuming he said something
Yeah.
about.
We'll listen
Good
to it through the stream.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, yeah, no, it was a good battle with Jim. We went side by side for a few corners there. I was trying to let him go, but he was trying to give room at the same time. So we're both being too cautious. So we just end up being side by side for 4 corners. But yeah, no, once he got in front, Jim was just, too quick, just pulling away. And then I noticed towards the end of the stint that he started coming back to me a little bit. So I thought, okay, well, I'll try and go a little bit longer and get fresh tyres at the end. But yeah, just wasn't enough. But yeah, no, it was it's cool little series we did. Had some good battles with Albert, and last week, of course, Albert won in the wet, so we'll equal on points. So that was very interesting. But yeah, it's good. I don't know what to say. Cheers.
Great stuff.
Well
Congratulations.
done, Wilco. Look, I just want to ask Wilco, number one, did you feel a little bit confident with the fresh rubber? You had a couple of laps of fresh rubber on Jimbo, but you also had track limits to worry about.
Yeah, I had a couple of track limits. I think I heard Albert. I think we both getting them at the same time. Did you have 2 like after lap 4 or 5, Albert?
I had only one, actually.
Oh, okay. It must have been a delay or something on the mic. But yeah, I got one through Eau Rouge, had hit the inside curb, and I'm like, oh, better be careful here. But yeah, no, fresh rubber, I thought, I was more just worried about Albert. That's who I was racing. So I was like, once I got in front of him, I'm like, okay, cool. Let's sort of see what we can do with Jim. And yeah, had really good pace. I was doing constant high 18s for a bit, and I was like, okay. And then yeah, I think my tyres started to go towards the end, but Jim was more a sort of thing just to keep my concentration, just keep trying to catch him, because once I sort of got 2 or 3 seconds ahead, Albert and Riggsy had a really good battle, so that sort of slowed Albert up. So after that, it was pretty straightforward.
Well done, mate. And look, seriously, that was great to watch. I think you probably put Jim under a little bit of pressure. It's a pity that you couldn't push as probably hard as you wanted to with the track limits looming over your head. And thank you very much as well, mate, for the invite to race with Kid Buyers Racing League. I've really enjoyed my time with you guys. It's been great.
Always happy to have new guys, and cheers for racing too.
Great stuff.
Yeah, sorry, Trevor. I just want to jump in quickly. So Wilco, I think the key question I have tonight is how long until you retire?
I'm going to retire.
I think you've lost your shine a little bit.
Yeah, it's all downhill from here, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Congratulations. Thank you. Great work too, Scotty. You won the vote tonight, which wasn't actually about you. It was about who was going to win the race, but you took the vote out anyway. There in the 45% of the vote as we move across Buenos Nachos to Albert, who finished in 3rd tonight, mate. Surely it's got to be mixed emotions for you, mate. You've had a fantastic short season, of course, only the 3 races, but you finished on the podium tonight, mate, but you just missed out on that championship.
Hello, Trev. Yeah, it's all good. I'm happy for Wilco. Congrats to him and to Jim for an amazing race first. But yeah, no, it's been a great mini series. I haven't felt really comfortable with the BMW. I don't know. I guess it's not my style, but I managed to get 1 win in Nürburgring, and yeah, tonight I thought I was close. Starting just behind Wilco, but at the start, Binga and Rixie overtook me because that BMW is a little bit slow on the straight. Yeah, and after that, I pitted 2 or 3 laps before Wilco, and I had a little bit of pace. I was a couple of seconds behind him, but yeah, he had fresh rubber and he just pulled away. And yeah, towards the end, I had a good battle with Rixie. So yeah, good fun. Thanks for organizing, everyone. And yeah, I will see you next time. Cheers, guys.
Thank you, Albert. Fantastic stuff. Good sport, mate. Finished 3rd tonight. Thank you for joining us. And you've got to, you can't have favourites as a commentator, but as just got to be happy for everyone. Shame Albert missed out, but it was fun nonetheless. That's a wrap, Wilco. What are we doing next, please? What's next on the agenda for KRL? We might have we've got some new games coming out, haven't we, in the coming months? So we'll just keep our viewers updated on what's going on.
Yeah, pretty much. We've got some stuff in the pipeline. I'm not sure. I can't hear Jim, so I don't know if he's announced a certain something. But and then yeah, got a couple of things in the pipeline. So we'll stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. You heard it here first. All right, there we have it. That's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us on your Thursday night. Wherever you're watching from, right around the world, that's the Kid Buyers Racing League Triple Threat, brought to you by. We don't have any sponsors, do we? There we go. Three rounds. If you want to jump on board, that'd be great. But thanks to everyone for watching. Scotty, Janice, Tessa, Big Shep down there at Warrnambool having a few frothies with Craig, Heather, and Zach. Everyone else, Princess Fiona, thank you for joining us. Stay tuned to all our social media channels to find out what's going on. Thank you, Voodoo. Thank you, Chuck, for joining us.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
What's that? You've just joined Twitch and you want a channel to watch. You want something to watch? Get onto it. V is for Voodoo Live. All sorts of merchandise, custom emojis, you name it. Fantastic stuff. So get on board with that. Thank you, Scott, mate. Last minute call up. You've done incredibly well, and the fans love you as well.
No, thank you, gentlemen. I really appreciate you allowing me in tonight to assist with the commentary. It has been an absolute blast, and I look forward to doing it again soon.
Great stuff, mate. Absolute pleasure. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching us. Stay tuned, like I said, to keep an update of what's happening for the KRL in the future. That's all we've got time for, ladies and gentlemen. Stay kind to one another. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.